Eagles fans, we back, baby. We back. As you can see, I'm joined by my brother, my heavy man in arms, Philly Foothills, holding it down on the West Coast, the Nest out West. You guys, it's week 2. We have a very, very big matchup ahead of us. We will be facing the 49ers, the San Francisco 49ers. And this will be the first official test for not only Jalen Hurts, but this entire Eagles team, the coaching staff. This is going to be cataclysmic for one of these organizations. Will we find out just how good Jalen Hurts is? Will this Eagles O-line be able to dominate this San Francisco 49ers rampage and defensive line? Will the Philadelphia Eagles wide receiver corps be able to take advantage of the 49ers secondary? Will Nick Sirianni out-coach Kyle Shanahan? So many things to discuss, so many things to get into. But like I always tell you guys, I'm your humble host, Tone DeShields II, and I'm joined by my brother, Philly Foothills from the Nest out West. Make sure you guys go lock in on both of our content. Me, myself, chalk it up with Tone DeShields II. The links are available down below in the description. If you want to support me and the channel, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. And when it comes to my man, Philly Foothills, the links are available down below in the description as well. Go lock in on the Nest out West, the YouTube channel. My man has eclipsed 1,000 subscribers, and he's on his way to 2K. Like myself, we are grinding for the muscle, and we're so grateful for you guys locking in with us. We appreciate you guys so much. And Philly Foothills, I want you to talk your ish, man. Go ahead, get busy.
What's good? What's going on? And what's cracking, everybody? It's game day. Let's go. It's time to get this thing fired up because it's the home opener for our Philadelphia Eagles this week. So I'm fired up. I'm ready for some football, baby. I've been up roughly since about 6 o'clock this morning, West Coast time. So definitely been up early. I got a little bit. I went back to sleep for a little while, closed my eyes for a little while after getting up early this morning. But I'm back up. I'm ready to go. I'm fired up. I've been talking my ish to all the Niners faithful out there this week, and had a couple of good friends of mine on this week. Talk some good Niners football, and the Eagles I think they're in a really, really good spot this week to take advantage of a wounded 49ers team because they definitely have some holes on the defensive side, especially in the secondary. So I'm excited to see this passing attack today. Jalen Hurts is going to continue his stellar play.
What's so funny? I was thinking about what you said earlier. I was thinking about the fact that you live in the West Coast. You're dealing with so many Niners fans. The West Coast is interesting because a lot of people move to the West Coast, being from other places. Yeah. So I feel like when it comes to football, LA or just California in general, it's a mixture of so many different kinds of fans. Like yourself, you're an Eagles fan, but obviously San Francisco 49ers pretty much reign supreme over there because the Chargers, they have the Chargers, the Rams. I feel like out of all the teams, right, the 49ers might have the largest presence. That's just my opinion. But
especially in Northern California, yeah, them obviously, and the Raiders. The Raiders did.
Yep.
The Raiders did. They're obviously in Vegas now. They're in California more recently, but they did lose some fans. Moving to Vegas. Some fans didn't truly follow them, and I don't blame them too, because gosh, some of the tickets, the parking there in Vegas, man, that shit's crazy expensive.
I feel you, bro. And see, Vegas is one of those places where everything is probably going to just nickel and dime you. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
And then you add the football element. You add an NFL stadium. Oh my God, bro! I know the numbers. I know they're doing numbers out there. And then the season opener went into overtime. I know they was making a killing. I know that's exactly what that organization, and they won. They beat the Ravens. I know that's exactly what that organization, what that city, what that team needed. Even the ownership, just from a financial perspective, it was just a perfect coming out party for that stadium. A perfect coming out party for that team in their new city. So it's definitely interesting just understanding the whole dynamic of California sports as it pertains to football, because I said, you got the Rams, former Raiders, 49ers, Chargers, and then the Chargers are in LA now sharing with the Rams. So I just know it's real iffy out there. But what's some of the things you've been hearing from from the 49ers fans being in California? I know you've been hearing some reckless talk.
Yeah, definitely. The even with the injuries to their secondary, they still feel very confident in their backup DBs, the backup corners, that they're going to be able to slow down Devontae Smith and Quez Watkins and company. And I don't really see that happening. I just don't. The Eagles are going to take prime advantage of the top two corners for the San Francisco 49ers being out. So, I've been hearing a lot of ish that way, and I've been also hearing too that they're going to run all over us. They're going to, even though that it doesn't really matter that Raheem Mostert is out for the year, that they got Elijah Mitchell, and they got Jermichael Hasty. They even have today they're going to be rocking some Trey Sermon as well. So they have a little of a three-headed backfield right now, especially with the injury to their primary guy. But I think they're really sleep. I've been telling everybody, you guys are sleeping on our defensive line, because we especially at the beginning of the game last week, we did look a little susceptible to the run, but we definitely adjusted to that. We made in-game adjustments to what the Falcons were doing, and the more and more that we held them on offense, the less they were going to be able to run it anyway. So, and I think that's going to play an effect again today. We go out there, we win in the trenches, we stop them from establishing a run game and controlling this clock. And yeah, we're going to have a very good chance of coming out victorious. And by the way, Nikki Cunningham, you're hilarious, by the way, with your comments.
Nikki is hilarious.
Yeah, you're hilarious, Nikki.
Oh, man. But as you guys already know, we are live streaming on 2 channels. We are live streaming on not only Tone DeShields II, my channel, we're also live streaming on the Nest Out West with Philly Foothills. So make sure you guys, whatever you do, if you're locked in on my channel, bounce back and forth. Whatever you got to do to get the numbers up, make sure you guys hit that like button. If you're not subscribed, subscribe and hit that little notification bell. So everything can really come to you guys whenever we pop up. You know what I'm saying? Whenever we got new content, you guys can just lock in with us, man. And we're super grateful for you guys locking in. So
make sure
Eagles
you turn on that.
49ers.
Make sure if you sorry, Tony, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
You go good, my guy.
Make sure that if you're not subscribed, you definitely subscribe, like you said, but make sure you turn on that notification bell. That way you never miss any of our content. You get notified whenever we go live, whenever we drop videos, things like that. So make sure you do all that and keep locked in for sure.
Big time, man. Now, you and I both know Lincoln Financial Field is going to be rocking. Lincoln Financial Field is going to be ablaze. What do you think? What are your expectations from the fans today?
They're going to be much like Sirianni described how he wants his team coming out of the second half. In the second half, no matter what the score is, you want to be just chomping at the bit to come out of this, snarling, just drooling, coming out of that cage. That's the way the fan base is going to be today. They haven't been in that stadium in over a year. I haven't been there yet myself, but I'm going to be there in a couple weeks for the Chiefs game. So I can't wait. I'm excited for everybody to get back into that stadium and to get back to some normalcy. I'm really, really, really happy to see the tailgating pictures, and I seen Cool Cat Connors out there live streaming at a tailgate right now as well. Shout out to him. The Eagles content creators, the Eagles fan base is one like any other. It's none like any other. It's different. It is, and there's just there's little kids out there in their own costumes that they've made. It's really, really the energy is just going to be electric. It's going to be hard for the 49ers to hear. Jimmy G's going to be doing this. He's going to be covering his ears. He's not going to. What? I can't hear it. Okay, I'll just run a play. Yeah, it's timeout, exactly. Burn a timeout. Yep.
Yes.
You can expect to see that early in Philly for sure, because the fans are going to be rabid this morning, today.
Most definitely.
Absolutely.
Most definitely. You already know, man.
So they're already rabid. They're already fired up they're already ready to go.
Bro, the Eagles tailgates are one of a kind, my man.
They are lubed and ready to go this morning.
Bro, the people in the parking lot throwing footballs all around. You got people grilling. People pull up in buses with their own. Bro, I've seen customized like buses. Like a school bus. I've seen customized buses. People somehow, some way get their hands on them, and they customize them all green, decked out with Eagle stuff. Lights, bro. People take it so serious out here. I love it. You get the grills out here, and then it's even cooler in the wintertime because it's freezing. But you see all the grills lit. People drinking the beer, bro. It's just such a beautiful ambiance. The last time I was at the stadium, walking through the parking lot, seeing the fans just talking so much trash, seeing the smoke coming off the grill, smelling the barbecue ribs, smelling the burgers, smelling the hot links. You know what I'm saying? Some people throwing corn on the cob, hearing all the different music. You feeling the bass in your chest.
Right.
You just hearing everyone's, and then once game time comes, everyone's walking to the link like a herd. And then we just lead up through the turnstiles, make our way through security, go on the steps. You just hear the roar of the fans. You hear the Rocky music playing. You hear all of it. It's such an amazing experience, my guy. I want you to experience it one day. I was like, that has to happen, man. That has to happen. Like, bro, I'm not sure which game yet, but me and my dad want to definitely hit up a home game. I'll let you know and see what you can do. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you hit up a game one year. We'll try to coordinate it. Definitely. But my God, you got to make it out there. But let's get into this breaking news.
Sure.
Josh Sweat signs a 3-year, $40 million contract extension. My man got the bag. Now, a lot of people, or some people, I'm not even going to say a lot of people. You got some people who are saying, well, what has he done to really deserve that kind of money long term?
As some did as well, like they did Mulata. Yep, same thing.
Right, exactly, just like Mulata. And they got some. You have people who say, "Oh, that's well deserved. He's going to give us a return on that investment because he might be one of the more talented DNs we had in a long time from a raw talent perspective, upside." Because they've kept him on limited snap counts because we rotate a lot. He's been behind BG. I think he's rotated with Derek Barnett. At other points, who else do we have at D? We had Chris Long,
Vinny Curry.
Curry. So he was always in the midst of a rotation, but it was always universally known that he was the more talented guy, the much more talented guy, the much more athletic DN, the way he bends. Now he has had a unique history when it comes to his knee that happened in high school, but as he's been in the NFL, as his body has become more acclimated, they're saying there's no longer a problem for him. He's saying it's no longer a problem for him. So what are your thoughts on the Josh Sweat contract?
I think once again that Howie made a pretty good move. I like what we've been seeing out of this kid. He's been battling very well with Jordan Mulata all summer, in camp. They've been going head to head quite a bit. And I think Howie's, he's just really, he's locking in some of these younger guys who he's been seeing and who he's hearing that are going to have some major potential for this team going forward. And he's just trying to get ahead of the curve when it comes to some of these contracts, especially with,
I can agree with that.
Especially with Mulata, even with Sweat too, you sign them now, you give them their bag. If you didn't, they come out and ball out, have a great year, you're going to have to give them that much more. So,
especially if you want them, you don't want them to hit the market.
Exactly. You definitely don't want to hit them. You don't want them to hit the market, especially Mulata, because that's our starting left tackle now, and we really don't have a whole lot behind him. But Josh Sweat is a fun kid to watch because he's got a high motor, he's got a lot of energy. Exactly. He's got one of those. He's one of those guys that definitely does not stop until the whistle blows. And, I'm absolutely ready for him to emerge and become a dominant pass rusher for this defense because he's got guys alongside him that garner a lot of attention as well. BG on the other side. Yeah, he's getting older. He still garners attention. Javon Hargrave had 2 sacks game 1. So he's going to start garnering more and more attention now as well. And still we got our anchor in the middle as well, the Fletcher Cox. So, he's got guys around him. We've got good depth on the defensive line as well. So, Yeah, I'm definitely done with. I'm pretty done with Derek Barnett, and I'm ready for the Josh Sweat era to really fully begin in Philly, and it looks like it definitely has. So I'm excited for the kid. Happy for him too.
Yeah, I'm definitely happy for him. More than anything, I'm always for guys getting paid because outside outside of the lines, outside of the turf, these guys have families, right? These
Yeah,
guys have mouths to feed. This is their career. This is their livelihood. And I'm always in the mindset of congratulating someone when they get a raise. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, of
Congratulating someone when they get that promotion, quote unquote.
course.
Um, but yeah, super happy for that guy. Now, when it comes to production, you know, he's been put under a microscope now.
Really,
With great commitment comes great responsibility, and with that
right.
responsibility, how are you going to perform? How are you going to react to the noise? People are going to be watching you much closely now to make sure the Eagles didn't whiff on that contract. I think the Eagles are sort of under the microscope as an organization right now when it comes to how they give out money because of the Carson Wentz deal. Since that deal, it kind of made people very wary about how we give our money. And I think we've always been curious about who gets paid, but I feel like even now more than ever, we're much wary about who we pay, especially if they haven't really shown us a consistent product or the amount of the product that we would like to see. Now, the two guys we paid so far, Melada, Josh Sweat, those two guys, I can live with paying those guys. I can live with that. They're young, high motor guys, high upside guys. And what makes it even more interesting, neither of those guys was drafted in the first round. I believe Sweat was a fourth rounder and
Yeah,
Melada seventh. That's amazing.
it is, and that says a lot to the development of this coaching staff too. And yes, we may have overpaid for the production that we've gotten to this point for both of those guys, but we're really not. That's really what their contract's not about. Their contract's about what we expect for them to produce in the future, right? It's the numbers that we expect for them in the years to come. It's not what they've done for us as of yet. As like some other contracts, when you have veteran players who re-sign and they get extensions, that's more of what they've done for us and what we hope for them to do towards the end of their career. But with these guys, it's more of what we see in the potential in them, and we're really giving them the full green light and saying, "Hey, you guys, here's the keys. It's your time to dominate. Let's make this
Mm.
team. Let's bring back a winning culture to Philadelphia, and let's get this thing. Let's get this thing right again, and win this division for years to come, and more than that, win rings for years to come."
I feel that. And when you think about it from this perspective as well, so far they've paid both of these guys on Saturdays. So I think they're trying to, motivate these guys a little bit. And on top of that, the money is going to the trenches, offensive line, defensive line. I'm a firm believer in building your team from the inside out, not from the perimeter in. And that way you can actually you have your heir apparent to BG. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I believe we're definitely going to go D in some more in this next draft.
Oh
We
yeah.
also have potentially to see what Teron Jackson can turn out to. I think he's someone who has a high motor, who has an interesting upside as well. What do you think about that?
Yes, I do too, and I would love. I want to give him his full, his full experience definitely, and I want to really really dive in and see what we have with him because I think, like you said, he could be another hidden gem in this draft that we just, that we definitely need to fully invest in because when you have guys like that, guys that you get in later rounds, if they can even turn into a good rotational piece on the defensive line, that's worth it, definitely. But I think you're right
Facts.
though. We have to continue to look into investing into the draft as far as defensive ends. I think we're pretty loaded right now at defensive tackle. Maybe we'll kick the tires on some later round guys, maybe possibly next year, but definitely defensive end has to be on the upper echelon of the list
Mm, I
for
dig
our
that.
needs. Yeah.
I dig that. I dig that. Now, the pressure. What are your expectations from Josh Sweat at this point? Now, in my humble opinion, I understand we do a lot of rotations on the defensive line, so I guess it's all dependent and maybe matchup dependent. But what are your expectations from Josh Sweat from a numbers perspective. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want him. I don't want him definitely to feel like he's got to take the take the entire defense under his wing or anything like that. But he's definitely got his he has to make his presence known for sure on that defensive line, and he has to be able to go up against some of the the upper echelon tackles in this league. And he's gonna get a test today, definitely, because he's going to be going up against Trent Williams, and we're going to be talking about that a little bit more later. But
Facts.
yeah, as far as number wise go, I mean, I'm expecting anywhere from 7 to 10 sacks possibly from him. I think he can get that done. I think that's realistic for him to get that done. He'll probably end up in the range of about 8.5, something like that. And to me, that's good production. And obviously, depending on his snap count, the percentage of the plays that he's playing, things like that, that all comes into factor. But I think we don't need to get too blown away either. If he has 4 or 5 sacks, that's still decent production. He just needs to continue to progress and build from there.
I agree. Now that contract kicks in this year. They actually decided to front load a good amount of the money. Just because it is a 3-year extension, but they front loaded it, so we have him locked up for the next 4 years. And he's going to be making north of $10 million each year. And look, I'm not one to count another man's pockets. I'm always grateful for these guys getting their money. Like I said, these guys got families. These guys got mouths to feed. These guys are trying to build legacy, and that's really important to me. So let's transition into the keys to the victory. What are your keys to victory today? Because for me, I believe that in order for us to win this game, we have to dominate in the trenches from beginning to end. Jordan Mailata has to win his matchup with Nick Bosa. We're going to get into that as well. But for just entirely, we have to dominate. We have to dominate the run game. We have to make it a point to not allow the defense to have wandering eyes. The San Francisco 49ers, most notably Kyle Shanahan, their head coach, specializes in misdirection plays. He is the son of one of the most legendary coaches in this NFL.
And he's becoming one himself. He's a offensive guru.
Exactly. One of the best play callers in the NFL, if not the best. He specializes in misdirection, specializes in zone running, zone blocking schemes, specializes in play action, loves to keep the defense guessing. He's the type of coach to literally run the same play 3 or 4 times in a row and give you 3 or 4 different variations of it. The first time he does it, the running back might get the ball. And the next thing you know, he'll run the exact same play, but the tight end gets the ball somehow. Then the wide receiver may get the ball, or the quarterback may just skirt. You never know. But he gives you this. He's able to load up 3 or 4 plays that are essentially the same package, essentially the same, and he can give you so many different outcomes. So how does Jonathan Gannon, compete against that right now, especially being a rookie defensive coordinator in this NFL? This entire staff is fairly young, fairly new to the game, but that's just one of my main keys to victory. Dominating the trenches, offensive and defensive line has to do their jobs early. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I agree with you. That's the one I had on the top of my list here is do not let San Francisco establish a consistent running game. We cannot let them control the clock, because if they do that, obviously that keeps our offense off the field. It prevents us from scoring points, because unless you're scoring points on defense or special teams, and that's not always easy to come by. But yeah, we have to play with, you used the word early, I think you said it pre-show. You said discipline. That is a huge, huge word today. And like you said, with all the misdirection and things like that, the Eagles defense has to play with a lot, and I mean a lot of discipline today. We have to be very, very disciplined. I'm trying to use a different word, but we have to be very technical in our tackling today. Very sound in our tackling today. We have to fly to the ball. Don't assume that the other guy's going to make the tackle. I want to see all the green jerseys flying to the ball today. I want to see them.
You know what the problem was last week? I felt like we were doing too much hitting earlier on and not doing enough tackling.
Exactly.
We need to wrap guys up. We need to make sure guys can't break. We had too many guys breaking tackles.
Yes.
So we need to actually have these guys stay technically sound, stay disciplined, stay attentive, lock in on their keys. Focus on your matchup. Don't
Absolutely.
worry about who's going left or right, who's in motion. Focus on the guy you're supposed to focus on, because that's the whole goal of Kyle Shanahan's offense, to get your eyes wandering, and then boom, he pops you over the top.
Right. Yeah, and just a lot when you have a lot of misdirection and things like that, a lot of discipline comes down to just keeping your eye on the ball. Watching the ball, do not assume, just stay disciplined, stay in your lane, like you said, control what you can control. And yes, wrap up. That is a big part of being a technically sound tackler. You have to finish the job. A lot of these guys just want to lead with their shoulder and knock a guy down. Well, that doesn't always work with these guys in the NFL. You have to follow through. You have to make sure that that they're on the ground, that they felt that you feel the thump of them hitting the ground. And absolutely, you need to do that 100%.
And also, to me, I think about us on offense, right? I think about the fact that the 49ers are dealing with a lot of injuries on their defense. Most of their injuries are on defense. Eric Armstead is questionable with his with an abductor injury, an ab injury. Javon Kinlaw, their tackle, was questionable with a knee. Harris, their linebacker, questionable with an oblique injury. Cornerback Mosley is doubtful with a knee injury. And then Greenlaw is out with a groin injury. So you think about all those things, and that's not even mentioning, like we talked about earlier, Raheem Mostert, their starting running back. And then who's their star corner? Verrett? Justin Verrett, I believe his name is. He's their star corner. So that's two cornerbacks right now. One on IR, the other one is doubtful with a knee injury. The Eagles wide receiver core has to take advantage. But that's the injury report for the 49ers. As it pertains to us, Marcus Epps is questionable with a concussion. I don't think he'll play. He's questionable, but we'll see. And Rodney McLeod is out again as well. I think they're taking their time with McLeod. Yes, he looks good in training camp and practice. Yes, he's looking flexible. He has that bend. He has that explosiveness back a little bit. But safety Rodney McLeod most likely won't be back until maybe probably week. He probably might not be back until maybe the Cowboys matchup or maybe the Tampa Bay matchup, because we're going to need a savvy veteran back there, especially in that Tom Brady matchup.
I think in KC's before that, so he'll probably be back. I think McLeod will be back next week, if not Kansas City week 4. I think that's where he'll be back.
Yes.
But today, I mean, it's going to be Kavon Wallace's show back there, man. Because if Epps can't go, Kavon Wallace has got to step up today.
And remember, last time we played the 49ers, I believe it was last season or 2 seasons ago.
Oh, it was last season. Yeah, we beat him
last season. Last season we beat him, but
in San Francisco,
we allowed George Kittle. Kavon Wallace allowed George Kittle to go for like 2 touchdowns, over 150 yards receiving, like 10 receptions, like 15 receptions, 15 receptions. It was insane. I remember watching that game, and the entire time I'm thinking to myself, why are they leaving Kavon Wallace out there to dry like that? Why are they letting this man get violated?
Yeah.
George Kittle, the San Francisco 49ers star tight end, is a dominant force. And you can't allow someone as inexperienced as Kavon Wallace you can't just leave him on an island like that. And that's where I trust JG. I trust JG to truly keep his guys protected. Yeah. Not allow his guys to have to deal with too many one-on-ones. Because remember, we got to think about Deebo Samuel as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And that one of my big keys to victory was also, I feel that we need to and if it is Deebo, so be it. But for the most part, we need to double team George Kittle and let somebody else beat us. Do not let him get the yak yards. Do not let him get that momentum going, because when he's a lot like Gronk, when he's got that full head of steam coming, it's going to take 2 or 3 guys just to bring him to the ground. So do not let George Kittle go off today. It's got to be a big one. Definitely. Those two, Deebo and George Kittle, they're definitely going to bring the wood when it comes to having to tackle them. So that goes right back to that technically sound tackling. The Eagles defenders better be ready to bring that wood right back to them, because those guys are definitely going to come to play, and they do not. Those two, Deebo and George Kittle, they do not shy away from physicality. They actually look for it. They're looking to run somebody over as opposed to running around them.
Right.
they
we also got to look out
invite
for
that.
Mohamed Sanu Senior, Brandon Ayuk. You know, we got to look out for those guys as well.
They have a rookie receiver. I can't remember his name.
Trent, I think his name is Trent Sherfield.
Yeah, Sherfield. Yes, we have to look out.
Yeah.
He's going to be starting today, I think, because Brandon Ayuk is coming back from a little bit of an injury right now, so he's trying to work his way back. But yeah, I mean, to me, we got the inactives just popped up. So we got,
yes, sir.
Let's see, Mac McCain, the cornerback that we recently signed, he's inactive. Rodney McLeod, like we thought. Cornerback Gardner Minshew, tackle guard Brent Toth, and defensive tackle Marlon Tuiatutupu is inactive for the Eagles today.
Yep, Tuipulotu. Yep, he's not. Yep, you're absolutely right. I actually just got the notification as well.
Yeah.
So that's interesting about Marlon Tuipulotu. So that means the main rotational guys are going to be Fletcher Cox, Javon Hargrave, and then they're going to follow that up with Hassan Ridgeway and Milton Williams.
Williams, baby.
Hassan Ridgeway had an amazing game last year because Hassan Ridgeway had a sack. She would have had two, but they called it intentional grounding. And Matt Ryan pulled a fast one, but it was all good. But let's get into the trench talk a little bit more.
That should still be considered a sack. You know,
I think so too.
If they intentionally ground it behind the line of scrimmage, absolutely, that should be a sack in the books for whoever had him wrapped up. Absolutely,
I agree with 100%. Hassan Ridgeway had that. He had him. And at first I thought
give him the numbers.
Or listen, that's a fumble to me.
Exactly.
He fumbled to me.
Yeah, call it a fumble or call it a sack. Absolutely.
Take your pick, right?
Yeah, or at least give him a half a sack. Something. Come on, give him something. Give our guy credit where he's working hard in there in the trenches.
Exactly. And I'll be honest, I thought T.Y. McGill was going to outshine Hassan Ridgeway, especially because I thought Ty McGill had a better preseason. Yeah, in my opinion, but Hassan Ridgeway,
maybe he was just kind of saving it. You know, maybe he was just going about 70% in the preseason, and then he knew he was going to more than likely make the team, and he's just kind of saving the full go till week one.
Probably so, man. But Jordan Mailata versus Nick Bosa.
Woo!
Now, Nick Bosa, brother to Joey Bosa, those two brothers, man. Joey Bosa playing for the Chargers. Nick Bosa, the defensive end for the San Francisco 49ers.
Yep.
Jordan Mailata, our money man. Our what is it? 64? How much money? 64 million?
Yep. Possibly 80.
Our 64 million, possibly our $80 million bodyguard. How will he fare? How will Jordan Mailata fare against Nick Bosa? That's going to be an interesting matchup to watch. I'm going to be watching it the entire game.
Yes.
I'm going to be paying close attention to the trenches. So what are your thoughts about this matchup?
It's definitely going to be very, very fun to watch. You know, I'm going to be watching it too very, very closely. And this matchup is going to be it's going to come down to who's in better shape football wise. Because most of them are going to be on. Well, I know Mailata is going to be on the field every play, but Bosa is going to be on the field damn near every play as well. He's a very, very high energy guy. He's going to be giving Mailata a huge test today. So if Mailata is able to slow him down, then we'll definitely be very, very happy about that. You know, the rush that's coming from the outside, that's something that Jalen Hurts seems to be okay with. You know, he's was very poised last week and stepping up in the pocket and moving out when he needs to and improvising. So
here's the thing though. I got a feeling they're going to try to force Hurts to run left. I believe that because he's right-handed.
Yeah.
So I think they're going to try because he's at his best throwing, bearing right.
Right.
I think they're going to try their hardest to get him out that pocket and make him run left. I think they're going to try to turn him into a runner. But he has to stay poised in that pocket. This offensive line is truly going to have a test ahead of them, especially Jordan Mailata and Nick Bosa. I'm looking forward to this matchup for one reason only. Once again, the contract we gave him. I want to make sure my man is worth his weight in gold.
Oh yeah,
and his hard work, his effort, his commitment to the game, his commitment to development, his commitment to family and glory. I have to put my money on that man. Now, this will be his biggest test in his career. There's no talent he's come against yet, in my personal opinion, like Nick Bosa. someone who's that technically sound, who has that much of a high motor, who has a high motor like him, someone who's relentless, someone who really bears that level of respect.
Right.
Jordan Mailata is going to have to stay disciplined. He can't allow the name. Don't allow the name to knock you off your square. He got a jersey just like you. He get paid just like you. You're an $80 million man now, so you can talk your ish too. You know what I'm saying? Don't allow the name to get you off your keys. Stay disciplined. Stick to your fundamentals, and don't allow that man to touch the QB. That's your job. Don't touch my guy.
Right.
And I just love Jordan Mailata's moxie. I love Jordan Mailata's just explosiveness. Like he was just wow. Like just wow, man. Like that his Falcons highlights. Oh my goodness.
He's Australian strong. You know, I mean, we have him. We got our punter from Australia. You know, we have a defensive end on the practice squad from Australia. So shout out to the Aussies out there. You know, definitely we're representing them very well. And shout out to I don't want to mispronounce your name, but Ladaru Frost. He said, "What's up, America?" from Sydney, Australia. It's 1:30 a.m. here Monday morning. Let's go, Eagles. Hey,
listen, we getting love from Australia. That's what I'm talking about, baby. We going global. We going global. We getting love from Australia, man. Look, so many people have been hitting me up from Australia, man, talking about Jordan Mailata, man. My man is up at 1 a.m. waiting for this game. That's what I'm talking about. I love it.
That's dedication right there. Love you, my guy.
Eagles fans are everywhere, my man.
Everywhere.
And I really believe that's why people hate us, dude. Like we are everywhere. People find it so hard to believe. And my whole thing is, how? Like how can you hate the gang? How can you hate it? Like look at stuff like this, man. You can't teach stuff like this. Just look how he just ends this man. Oh my goodness, bro. Jordan, look at how he just ends him.
Pancakes, anyone?
Look at that. That's how I want my left tackle to move.
Yes.
That's how I want my left tackle to move. Let's run that back, man. That's how I want my left tackle to move. Boom. Ooh. Look at that. Bodies on bodies. That's a key block. Look at that. Bang. Come on.
Devouring him. That's like Pac-Man. That's like Pac-Man eating a ghost right there.
Just straight up, just
beautiful thing to see. Especially that right after he got his contract, that shut a lot of people up. You know, seeing those plays. He even had one where he was on the line and there was a guy to his right, and he just shoved the guy down with one hand, one arm. Just pushed the guy down to the ground with one arm. I was like,
bully ball, man. That's that bully ball. I love it. That's that rugby. I'm telling you, man. That's that. You know, he's Samoan, but born and raised in Australia.
Yeah,
he's a true specimen. 6'8", over 350 pounds. Moves like a bro. He moves like a safety. He's shifty. Like he's so, bro. It's just.
You've seen some of his rugby videos. You guys go watch that. I've made it recently. Dropped a highlight video of some of his rugby plays on my channel. So go check that out because it's really cool. Because for a big man, he can freaking move. He can move. Definitely. He runs like a low 5-second 40. So yeah, for a 6'8", 300-pound guy to move that quick.
Agile.
Yes, he's agile. Exactly. He can cut. That's why I'm like, man, I'd hate to put him at risk at all injury wise, but hey, if we ever needed a refrigerator Perry type at a goal line, good luck tackling that guy. Good luck tackling that guy.
Listen, rugby. Can you imagine a trick play with Mailata being activated as a receiver?
Oh man,
for a play, and he
gets out and
takes off.
Oh shit,
bro, he won't be able to get taken down.
It's gonna look like a rugby match. You're gonna see bodies flying everywhere, and they're gonna be the opposing team.
And he got pads on, so you know he ain't scared.
Exactly. You see, he's running through people without pads on. What do you think he's gonna do with pads on?
Man,
yeah, exactly.
Man,
very happy.
The trenches will dictate it, man. Those guys will have to protect Jalen Hurts.
Yes.
And I'm pretty sure those guys are thinking about protecting Jimmy G and Trey Lance as well. So what are your thoughts on Jalen Hurts versus Jimmy G and Trey Lance? Because Jimmy Garoppolo and Trey Lance on occasion split snaps.
Right.
I believe Kyle Shanahan has packages in place where Trey Lance just comes in. We're going to see Trey Lance today.
Oh, yeah.
on at least 2 or 3 plays. So
maybe even more than that. But yeah, we will see.
Maybe more than that. Exactly, maybe more than that. So, what are your thoughts on Jalen Hurts and the Jimmy Garoppolo Trey Lance matchup?
I mean, number wise, I think even combine if you combine the two, Jimmy G and Trey Lance, because San Francisco is usually more run dominant. Jimmy G's doesn't have the greatest arm. He can't throw it deep downfield. So I think number wise, Jalen's going to have the better day. With the secondary beat up the way San Francisco is secondary is the walking wounded right now. That was one of my keys to victory as well. Attack that secondary. Do not stop. Even if it's not super successful at the beginning, keep attacking that secondary. Have balance on offense, but definitely take your shots. Look for Devontae's going to be wide. He's going to be wide open. Quez is going to be wide open at times as well. Rieger's going to be open in the slot. We're going to be exposing some people, and especially on the back end for San Francisco. And if they're not able to get home with their front four, then yeah, Jalen Hurts is going to have a big, big day. I think he's going to have. If I think what happens today is going to come true, I think Jalen's going to have over 300 yards passing today and 3 touchdowns.
Ooh, okay, I like that. Two passing, 1 running, or all 3 passing? What are you thinking?
I'm thinking 2 passing, 1 rushing.
Okay, that's reasonable. Yeah. Now here's the thing about something you mentioned when it comes to not just us passing the ball, but Jimmy G and those guys.
Yes,
they rely heavy on the running game, like you said, right?
Right.
They rely on that running game to dictate the pace for them, and it also allows Jimmy G to play within his means.
Right.
Jimmy G is not the quarterback that's going to win you the game with his arm. I firmly believe that. He's not. He doesn't do well from playing behind, so it's going to be important for us to get out to an early lead. The more we keep Jimmy G on his heels, the more prone he is to make a mistake. If we get out to a 2-possession lead going into the 4th quarter, or at least going into halftime, and we get the ball back and we score, I'm telling you, expect Jimmy G to start forcing that ball. Expect him to start making mistakes. If we put them in a position like we did the Falcons to not be able to run the ball as much because they're playing from behind, force Jimmy G to throw that ball 30 to 40 times a game, because he loves to stay in between that 20 to 25, 25 to 30 range. Right. If he doesn't, they try their hardest to keep him from throwing that ball more than 30 times. They try their hardest. His last game against the Detroit Lions, I believe he threw the ball a total of 25 times or 26 times, completed about 22, 21 of the passes, over 300 yards. Now, granted, they allowed them to come back, and they had to really tighten up a little bit because they took their foot off the gas.
Right.
But Jimmy G, if you turn him into a pure thrower, expect him to make plenty of mistakes. He's not that mobile. He's really not.
Yeah,
so you're going to see you're going to turn him into something. The goal for the defensive line, the goal for JG, the goal for Jonathan Gannon. If y'all don't know him by JG, the goal for Jonathan Gannon is to turn Jimmy Garoppolo into something he's not. Right. Make Kyle Shanahan play outside of the realm of his understanding, or more so the realm of his comfortability. Let's put it that way. That team loves to go run, and they'll beat you over the top. They will run until you stop them. That's one thing I can say about that team, and I love that discipline. They will run until you stop them, and they're one of the more unique teams when it comes to blocking. They don't have their guys block man on man. They don't have their offensive lineman block man to man. They have their offensive lineman block areas,
right?
Which opens up a specific lane that they've created, they've crafted for the running back to run through. None of the lanes that the running back runs through are just random. They create spaces. They block areas, and they allow the running back to make a decision. You're either going to take lane A, B, or C. And they're very good at creating those lanes A, B, and C. Our goal was to limit them to just lane A.
Yes.
You follow?
Yeah. And they also too have one of the best blocking tight ends in the league in George Kittle. So we definitely have to be we can't let them establish those zone blocking schemes, things like that. We have to be, I'm going to keep using that word. We have to have very good discipline today. Because if we don't, they're going to be able to control the clock with that run game, and then hit us with, little play action over the top with Jimmy G after that.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting, man. It's going to be very interesting. So that gets me to one of my other conversations that we've discussed a little bit. The Eagles D-line versus the 49ers O-line. Josh Sweat, who just got the big contract, versus Trent Williams, one of the best, if not the best, offensive lineman, the best left tackle in the game.
Yeah.
This is going to be a huge test for those guys. You know, Brandon Graham, Fletcher Cox, Derek Barnett, Javon Hargrave, Grave Digger. You know what I'm saying? Milton Williams, Teron Jackson, if he plays. It's Hassan Ridgeway. It's going to be a huge test.
Ryan Kerrigan's going to be in the mix today too.
Ryan Kerrigan, and we also got to think about the San Francisco 49ers center. I believe his name is Alex Mack. Very dominant, older but very experienced, very technically savvy, a savvy veteran.
Centers in the league,
yeah, for sure, one of the best centers in the league. But this Eagles D-line, they're going to have a task, but the 49ers is going to have a task as well. We dominate in the trenches, and I'm expecting this D-line to come, especially to come away with at least 2 to 3 sacks. The reason I keeping it around that is because I believe the sacks are going to come from one side. I don't believe Trent Williams is going to give up a sack. I just don't believe that. That's just not his MO. Maybe Josh Sweat would get his sack on the opposite side, going up against their right tackle, but I just don't see Trent Williams, being out of character. He's someone who's been consistent. He's a tried and true product. So, what are your expectations for the Eagles D line and the 49ers O line, respectively?
Yeah, I'm expecting the 49ers O line to come out, and if they get the ball first, they're going to be firing off the ball. They're going to be trying to establish that run game, definitely, because that's their MO. But it's going to be I like that matchup, because not a lot of people have been talking about that. A lot of people have been talking about Bosa versus Mulata. But yeah, Sweat Williams, that's another key matchup as well, But I'm gonna go out with a little pre-bold prediction here and say that Trent does give up a sack to Josh Sweat today. I'm gonna say that gives up a sack, but for the most part, I think you're about right on though with the expectations for the sacks today, 2 to 3. I think that would be good enough to get the job done. If it's more than that, that'd be great. I love it, but if we're able to stifle that run game early, then that's just going to let us pin our ears back and get after Jimmy G and trade Lance if they put him in there or whatever. And they might need to, because if we're bringing the heat, they're going to need more of a mobile quarterback. So you may see Trey Lance play a little bit more today than usual. But yeah, if we're able to pin our ears back and get after Jimmy G, he's not nearly as mobile as he used to be, because he did have a torn ACL a couple years ago, and that definitely that he wasn't ever a speedster or anything like that. He wasn't overly athletic when it comes to the quarterback position, being like a scrambler or anything like that. But
2 seasons in a row with season-ending injuries, 2 seasons in a row.
Yeah,
and you think about the fact that he's a statue now. He's a statue, so you can't really expect him to really be too mobile.
Right.
And like I said, this Eagles D line, they have a task. They're really going to have to bring the pressure. And I really want to know.
Sorry, I'm having trouble connecting to
Alexa. Jeez Louise. So try restarting. See, this is the problem with technology these days, man.
Wait 10 seconds.
Alexa just starts talking for no reason out of nowhere. I didn't even say her name. I don't understand it. It's one of the weirdest occurrences. Alexa, it's all good. Stay where you are.
Stay in your lane, Alexa. Stay in your lane. You got to play with discipline today,
Alexa. I'm having trouble connecting to the internet. It looks like a router issue, so try restarting it.
You're like, you on the internet right now? What are you talking about? I'm live streaming.
Plug it back in.
Exactly. But it's all good. Wife is taking care of it for me.
That's hilarious.
It's all good. Shout out to my wife. She's taking care of it. She just
I was going to say, thank you, Mr. Shields. Thank you.
Oh, man. But yeah, Eagles D-line versus the 49ers O-line, going to be very interesting. And Sweat, like you said, it's a possibility, man. It's a strong possibility. And if we could get
the reason I gave that little bold prediction about Josh Sweat is because the times Trent Williams has given up sacks before in the past, like you said, it's not really his MO to give them up. But the times that he have been the high energy guys with motors that don't quit, guys with young guys that are strong like Josh Sweat. So, that's the reasoning behind my thinking there.
Right. And then if our O-line holds up, that'll give Jalen Hurts more time to hit guys over the top. That'll give our wide receivers more time to get open. And that just begs the question, can Devontae Smith and the Eagles wide receiver core take advantage of the compromised 49ers secondary?
I think without a doubt they can, and they better, because they're missing their top two corners. The Verrett, he's out indefinitely. He tore his ACL, and Emmanuel Mosley is out with a knee injury as well. So
yeah, he's questionable, I believe.
Yeah. And then they said I think he was more like, I think it was doubtful the last time I looked at it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Word. Okay.
So
that's even better for us.
Yeah, it is. It's going to be up to. I think they have two. I know one of their starting corners today is a rookie, so you're going to see some rookie on rookie action when it comes to if he's lined up against Devontae Smith, and definitely look for the Slim Reaper to have a big game today. Look for Quez maybe to have a home run ball over the top, or maybe maybe some screen, maybe a screen pass that goes for a big chunker. But the secondary for the 49ers is not healthy right now. They're walking wounded, like I said. So
they're also missing a guy named Devontae Harris as well. And you were right about Emmanuel Mosley.
Doubtful, right?
He's doubtful. Doubtful. So I think it's going to be very important for this Eagles. It's because we have a lot of speed, a lot of pure route running. We have to take advantage of that. We have to take advantage of those guys being on their heels. And I really doubt Kyle Shanahan is going to put his guys in positions, put his guys in press man positions. I doubt he's going to do that.
Yeah, you better not do that to Devontae Smith, because he's going to eat you alive if you do that.
He's going to cook.
Yeah,
he's going to cook, and he's already starting off on the right foot, and he's already got that confidence now.
The Slim Reaper is going to be the Fat Reaper by the end of the day, because he's going to be eating so much.
Yeah, man. My man had 8 targets last game, 6 receptions, 71 yards, a touchdown, average almost 12 yards per catch. Yeah. And his longest catch of the day was 19 yards. And then you got to look out for Jalen Reagor. Like you said, Quez Watkins. We really have some young, talented guys that can really take the top off, that can really break. You know what I'm saying? I'm expecting those guys to really eat. And if the San Francisco 49ers commit too much to the run, Jalen Hurts may break one on you. And then if you commit too much to him, then next thing you know, these wide receivers catch you guys slipping. You have to, even though our team is young, you have to be mindful that our quarterback can go for 20, 30 yards on you. Not allow. If you leave a space of the field open, listen, take it, young man. I don't care. Take it. Get that 20, 30 yard chunk play and eat. You play us too close to the line of scrimmage. We get you for a bubble screen. We taking it to the house. We got a lot of speed. Miles Sanders, him as well. Kenny Gainwell. What are your expectations from those guys? Miles Sanders and Kenny Gainwell.
I'm expecting them to have a pretty good game. I think Gainwell is going to be that good complementary piece. He's going to be in on some passing plays. He's going to get some rushes as well. But I think Miles is going to easily have over 100 yards from scrimmage today, easily.
Yeah, I think we're at that point right now where we can catch teams, because I still feel like teams are doubting us, right? Yeah. I still feel like the NFL was doubting this Eagles organization, this Eagles team. And yes, we're young. Yes, we have some unproven products, but we've shown that we can drop a 30 ball in your head, right?
Yeah.
And I'm expecting people to continue to sleep on us until we get that high quality victory. I'm telling you, if we go 3-0, which will take
3-0. Oh yeah.
If we go 3-0, the NFL will have to pay attention. They're going to have to pay attention. Okay, what are these guys doing? I believe in Nick Sirianni. He had those guys buttoned up last week. They were sharp outside of the offensive line penalties, because that's what all the penalties was.
Right.
But other than that, you really didn't see any crazy penalties on defense. You didn't see any pass interference. You didn't see any holding on the perimeter with the wide receivers. Those guys were disciplined with their blocking.
Right.
We were a very buttoned up team. We came out like a well-oiled machine. We seemed very intentional with everything we did last week.
And speaking of one of those penalties was on a veteran offensive lineman in Lane Johnson right before the half, in it being caught illegally downfield. It's like, what are you doing, Lane? What are you doing?
That would have been a touchdown, right?
It was. Yeah, Gainwell. It would have been his first touchdown of the day, because he ended up getting one later. But right. But just to speak on the poise and the mental fortitude of Jalen Hurts to have a touchdown pass called back, right? That's frustrating as hell for players. A lot of guys can't necessarily delete that right away. It stays in the memory book for a little while. But
Right.
he's got that mentality where he just presses that button, delete, next play. They want to blitz. Okay, scramble out to the right. Dallas Goedert in the end zone. Very next
He
play.
has that perfect. He has that perfect. He's what you call now in life, right? Short term memory is not the best thing, right?
Right.
But in football, short term memory is valuable.
Yes.
Valuable because if you're busy worrying about the play that happened before, then
Right.
you've already been defeated on the play ahead of you.
Right. Exactly. It's a lot like that, and like you said, it's a lot like that in life. There's examples I can give you over and over again of the same thing. Like when I play cards. If you get somebody hits their card on the last card that puts out the river card, they suck out on you. It's what it's called. When you're favored to win, and they hit their card, they win. A lot of people go on what's called tilt. And that's where you're mentally thrown off, and you're playing out of you're playing out of aggression at that point. You're not playing with your smarts. You're trying to get back at the you're trying to
you're losing focus.
Exactly.
You're forgetting the goal at hand is to win the hand, not beat him.
Right.
You got to win that. And I'm not even a major card player. Like the furthest you might get me playing cards, maybe pity pat, I declare war. maybe go fish. Yeah, exactly. Maybe go fish. So I know you were telling me you're like a master poker player. Like you've competed, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I've played in tournaments before. Nothing too major, but I mean, I wouldn't call myself a master, but I'm definitely I'm above average poker player, definitely.
But to be able to compete means that you have a skill set that you can quote unquote weaponize. You can use that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's not easy. You feel me?
And I've been through the trenches. I've seen damn near everything, and I can literally, I can take a bad beat like I was just talking about and delete it like Jalen Hurts did. That's what I was using that as an example, and just go on to the next hand, the next play, whatever it is, and you give your best and you win the next hand. So absolutely, it's delete onto the next one.
Yes, sir. And then
that mentality.
Nick Sirianni, Kyle Shanahan, those guys are facing off, sitting at the table right now with their hand, and they're just thinking, okay, who's got the full house? Who's
bluffing? Yep.
Who's bluffing right now?
What's shit right now?
What's your tell? What's your tell right now? So those guys got the sunglasses on and they're just sitting there, and someone's going to lose. Someone's going to call. Someone's going to give in. Someone's going to fold.
Yeah, exactly.
Someone's going to fold, and hopefully, Lord willing, it's not us. Hopefully, Nick Sirianni is able to get the better of Kyle Shanahan right now. Because look, Nick Sirianni is the young gun in this situation. Nick Sirianni is the new young hot shot head coach in his NFL, and he's trying to prove something as well. Remember, they gave him a lot of gripe about his press conferences. They were and I was reading articles that bothered him. That actually bothered him. I saw interviews that bothered him, and he made it a point that you guys are going to rue the day to not only question me as his head coach, but question my football acumen, question me as the leader of this organization. You guys are going to question that. You guys are going to rue the day if you question that again. So I think Nick Sirianni is also on. I think Nick Sirianni is also on a vendetta. I think Nick Sirianni is also motivated to prove a lot of people wrong. Jalen Hurts is motivated to prove people wrong. You know what I'm saying? It's really going to be interesting to see how Nick Sirianni carries this, because I believe this team goes as far as Jalen Hurts and Nick Sirianni would take them. Can Nick Sirianni utilize his guys properly? Can Nick Sirianni put these skill position guys in the best position to succeed? Can Jalen Hurts execute? Can Jalen Hurts not only be accurate in the short and intermediate, but can he also be accurate over the top on the deep ball? I think a lot of people are questioning that about him.
Yeah, and I think actually I want us to take some deep shots today. Whether we connect on it or not, it's not always necessary, because sometimes you can get pass interference penalties. That could definitely have a big switch of field position and things like that. So, I think I actually think Jalen Hurts' deep ball is one of his, better assets. So I think we should definitely take advantage of that when we need to, take our shots. But like you said, Sirianni's got a big coaching matchup today, and he's got to bring his A game for sure because Kyle Shanahan always does. So this is a big test for Sirianni and this young team. But yeah, I think Nick is up for the task.
Facts, man. And that brings us to our bold predictions for the game. What are some? You mentioned one of them, right?
Yep.
But
Josh Sweat getting a sack against Trent Williams. That was one of them.
Josh Sweat getting a second straight. That's bold. That's bold. Whether people want to understand that or not or respect that, that's a bold prediction because Trent Williams is the best left tackle, if not one of the best left tackles in this NFL. For myself, if I had to think of some bold predictions, let's say, you know what? I say a bold prediction for me right now is Jalen Hurts accumulates over 400 yards of offense. That means 300 passing yards, 100 rushing yards.
Oh boy,
it's bold. It's bold, but that's the point of the category, right? It's bold.
Right.
It has to be damn near improbable, right? But
yeah,
hey, Jalen Hurts has 400 yards of offense, 300 passing, 100 on the ground, or maybe 320 passing, maybe 8 on the ground. However he gets cut up, however it's sliced. But I'm predicting a bold prediction is over 400 yards of total offense for Jalen Hurts alone. That's one of my thoughts. What are you thinking?
I like it. Hey, it's definitely bold. It's definitely bold. And if your prediction comes to fruition, then we're winning this game for sure. No doubt in my mind. If he's putting up 400 yards of offense on the field today, then yeah, we're gonna win easily. It's gonna be a cruise to victory. But yeah, I like your bold prediction. Mine's gonna be on the defensive side of the ball. I'm gonna say Steven Nelson is gonna have a pick six today.
Oh, I was going to say that. I was going to say it. I was going to say Steven Nelson catches the pick today.
Great minds think alike.
Oh my God, bro! I was going to say it. Oh, you beat me to it. I was going to say it. Damn. Okay.
I stole Tone's bold prediction.
Fam. I was really sitting here thinking, okay, on defense, I'm thinking Steven Nelson has a pick, maybe pick six.
Yeah.
Should I go pick six?
Right.
He went for it. Oh, you know what? I ain't mad at it. Man. That's good. I like that. I like the prediction because Steven Nelson has a lot to prove as well. He's on a 1-year deal. He's trying to get at minimum a 3-year extension somewhere.
Yeah.
So I'm expecting Steven Nelson to be highly productive. The DBs had a pretty good game last week against talented guys like Calvin Ridley, Kyle Pitts. It doesn't get any more talented than that. So, well, it can, but those guys are pretty talented.
Yeah,
those guys are very talented. We know what Calvin Ridley did to us in years past. We know Kyle Pitts' history in college. He still has to prove it in the NFL to me, but that talent is still there. It has to get tapped into. I don't know how good he'll be on that bad Falcons team. But it's going to be interesting to see.
To your point too, you said that Kyle Pitts still has to prove it to us, and he does definitely. And to go on top of that with Calvin Ridley, to me, he's got to prove that he can be a number one receiver in this league. A lot like, to give an example, Juju Smith-Schuster after Antonio Brown left. He just wasn't that. He really hasn't been that true number one receiver for Pittsburgh. He really hasn't. And I think he's more of a complimentary guy, and I think maybe that might be what Calvin Ridley is. I don't know. We'll see. I'm definitely not, counting him out after 1 week or anything like that as a number one guy, but he's definitely got to produce at a higher level than he did last week. But that too comes to that you have to take into account his quarterback as well.
Okay, I got another bold prediction for you. Devontae Smith scores 2 touchdowns today. 2.
You just stole mine.
I
was going to say 2 touchdowns and 100 yards receiving at least.
Okay. Hey, listen, we here. That means we here with it. All we need is for our Eagles to be here with it. Those guys need to be in sync like that. You know what I'm saying? Hey, listen, it's going to be an amazing game. It's going to be big.
Yeah.
The link is going to be on fire. The link is going to be straight pandemonium. I can only imagine right now. I can only imagine. I wish I was there for the opener. Oh my goodness! But what is your prediction for the score, my man?
Okay, so I think because the secondary for San Francisco is so banged up. I think we're going to put up another 30 burger. So I'm going to say it's going to be. I'm going to say we're going to win 34-28.
Okay, I like that. I'll say we win because I agree with you. I think because their DBs are so banged up, this is going to be maybe a shootout a little bit. So I'm expecting a score of Eagles 31, 49ers 27.
31-27. Okay.
31-27.
I like it.
31-27.
I like it.
I think we're going to dominate the second half. Just like last game, I think we're going to dominate the second half. And Nick Sirianni and Jalen Hurts already proved to me that they are pretty savvy in the 2-minute drill.
Yeah.
So if it comes down to it, I believe if it comes down to a possession, like we're behind, we got to get the go-ahead touchdown or whatever it may be. I believe Jalen Hurts can do it. I believe Jalen Hurts can do a 2-minute drill. I believe Nick Sirianni could call it a good 2-minute drill.
Yeah, I think so too. The what was I gonna say? I lost my train of thought.
Like you think about all the things that comes with this game. Winning this game brings respect. Winning this game makes people take us much more seriously as a team. And a lot of people love the whole notion that rookies can't contribute in their first year. Well, my thing is, at the end of the day, it's football. And all you got to do is do your job and win your matchup. And if you focus on that aspect of the game first, everything else will start to come together. I really believe that. If Devontae Smith can win his matchup time and time again, he will get the ball thrown to him. Same thing with Jalen Reagor. Same thing with Quez Watkins. Miles Sanders. If Miles Sanders and Kenny Gainwell can be patient in the running game and take advantage of everything that goes with them, if the offensive line can give those guys about 5 to 8 yards of grace without being touched, all those guys can break one.
Right. Yeah, definitely. And that's what I was going to do. I was going to give you another bowl. I was going to give you another bowl prediction real quick. I was going to say Kenny Gainwell is going to have close to like probably anywhere from 80 to 100 yards from scrimmage today.
Okay, that's possible. It's very possible, especially how they use them. And it's going to be interesting if Boston Scott gets thrown into the mix because Boston Scott wasn't really used. He didn't get used at all.
Good point.
And I think Kenny Gainwell is showing that he's a little bit more dynamic than him in terms of the passing game. And like it's a reason Kenny Gainwell got the snaps more so than Boston Scott. And I believe Kenny Gainwell is the type of running back that Nick Sirianni likes.
Yes.
A guy that he can use in so many different ways. I believe he loves that Miles Sanders, Kenny Gainwell combination. And you never know. You throw in Jordan Howard with that, now you got a legit 1-2-3 punch. You got a legit jab uppercut.
Yeah. And I don't know if you've seen it, but speaking of running backs, the 49ers signed Kerryon Johnson to their practice squad.
I heard about that. I'll be honest with you. That was
getting some info, getting some intel.
That's what I think.
Yeah, kicking the tires.
I think that was
expect for him to be released Monday morning. Yeah.
Exactly. It might not even be that Blake. Maybe Tuesday or Wednesday.
Right. We'll give him a couple days.
Right. Yeah, but when I saw that, the first thing I thought was, they're trying to get the inside scoop. That's the first thing I thought about.
And I don't know if you I bet you didn't hear this. They recently, because of the injuries at linebacker, guess who's on their practice squad now?
Oh yeah, don't they have Nate Gary or something like that?
Nate Gary's on their practice squad.
Well, granted, they picked up Nate Gary, I believe, in the offseason.
And he didn't even make it to the training.
And he didn't make the team.
Cut his ass before training camp even started.
Right, and then they brought him back all of a sudden.
Yeah, because of injuries.
Right, so we'll see.
There was a picture of him from a distance. He was out in the field talking to who was he? He was talking to, I think, one of the offensive linemen for the Eagles. They were out there. They were out there chatting it up earlier this morning. But yeah, I wish Nate Gary was suiting up today.
I want Nate Gary to be on that field so bad so we can just light him up.
Yeah, because Jalen Hurts would be pinpointing him for sure.
Yeah, bro. If it was me, I would throw the ball his way every single time.
Absolutely,
every single time.
You're throwing it to hit the back of his helmet,
bro. every single time. But we're at that hour and 10 mark, my man. This has been an amazing live stream. The game starts in about 45 minutes. What's your plans? What's your plans during the game, my man? What's your plans during the game, my man? You ordering some food? What's the plan?
Yeah, I'm probably going to be the wife probably make some breakfast. It's early, definitely, but gonna be. I finally got that Sunday ticket, so I'm not missing a single snap for the rest of the year. I am juiced about that. Definitely. Very, very excited. Obviously, today would have been broadcast out here on the West Coast anyway because it's a 49er game, and I'm in Northern California, so I literally get every single 49er game there is. But very, very. Man, I'm debating whether I'm going to live stream during this game or not. I'm thinking maybe I'm just going to, I think I would really just want to watch this one. And I think I'm going to wait and do go on live, maybe post game, do a live with Vic 3 and some other guys.
Yeah, me, I tried live streaming in the game, and I'm too animated. I'm too emotional.
Yeah.
I'm too, my energy level is so high.
Right.
So it's kind of hard for me to really dedicate.
I can't give you play-by-play when I'm losing my mind.
Yeah, like I take every snap so seriously, my guy.
Yeah.
So it's going to be real tough for me, my man. But look, my guy, like this has been an amazing live stream as always. You guys are going to see us again. As a matter of fact, you guys are going to see us Monday for next Monday, right? When we play the Dallas Cowboys in Jerry World. We're going to do a Monday pregame live stream that evening before the game.
Sounds great.
It's going to be electric, man. This game is going to be electric. The link is going to be on fire, my guy.
Oh yeah,
look,
rocking.
Make sure you guys go lock in. Go subscribe to my man Philly Foothills at the Nest Out West. Go subscribe to the Nest Out West on YouTube. The Nest Out West, holding it down for the Philadelphia Eagles. My man is doing his thing out there, man. Past 1,000 subscribers, just like myself, we're grinding, putting our foot to the pavement. The sky is the limit for my guy. Hey, listen, Philly Foothills. Let the people know where they can find not only the content, but where they can find you on social media.
Absolutely, my guy. Yeah, you guys come check me out. Like he said, at Philly Foothills, or I should say on Twitter, I'm at Philly Foothills. Also, my alter ego is at Fuego _Philly on Twitter. So I have both of those social media accounts. I'm on Instagram as well. That's Philly Foothills _82. I believe that's what my IG is. Yeah, come check me out on there. You could just, if you're on Facebook, you could just type in Philly Foothills. It'll pop up, or you could type in the Nest Out West. Same as on YouTube. That's where my channel exists. That's where all my content is usually broadcast from. I got my own channel, the Nest Out West. I've been rocking for about a little over a year now. So you guys definitely come check me out. It's getting better and better. The content is only growing. The channel is only intensifying. So I love and appreciate each and every one of you guys. Like I always say, all you guys are the food and the water to the content. Without you, it does not continue to survive. So I am literally knocking on the door of 1,100 subscribers right now. I need like 5 more. So you guys, if you haven't done so already, like he said, and you're feeling the vibe, please make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe to keep my dreams alive. Because like I said, you guys keep the channel going. You really, really do. We couldn't do it without you. Like I always say, I love and appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you all for being with us in the live stream this morning. And let's go Birds, baby. Let's get a W. We're going 2-0, baby. Absolutely. I think it's going to be a good game today. It's going to be very, very fun to watch, and I can't wait.
Yes, sir. I'm super excited about this game. So much to expect. So many different aspects of the game to watch. So many matchups. Nick Sirianni versus Kyle Shanahan. Nick Bosa versus Jordan Mailata. Josh Sweat versus Trent Williams. The offensive line versus the defensive lines. The Eagles wide receiver core versus the San Francisco 49ers DBs.
George versus Alex versus the center Mac.
Yeah. Yep. George Kittle versus Avonte Maddox and Eric Wilson. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be so interesting to watch, man. But I'm your humble host, Tone DeShields II. And as you guys already know, I'm from Chalk It Up, where no matter if we win or if we lose, we just got charges to the game. If you guys haven't already, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to not only my content, but Philly Foothills, the Nest Out West as well. Go check him out on YouTube, the Nest Out West. Go check me out on YouTube, Tone DeShields II. Wherever you want, I got it. And whatever you need, I sure can provide it. You guys, the content is alive and in full effect. You guys are going to also see us Monday night before the Dallas Cowboys-Eagles matchup. That's going to be an amazing game, so keep it locked for that as well. You guys, let's go 2-0. Let's get this W. Let's win it in deciding fashion, and it's straight like that. We out of here, Foothills.